The future will be an urban one, and it has been projected that by 2050, 2/3 of the world's population will be living in cities. This is because cities are engines of growth. Technology will influence the way in which we live, work, play, and to learn. Cities have to keep up with providing the right amenities, services, and infrastructure to serve the many people. There may be growing inequality, and layered on top of this rapid urbanization issues will be existential threats like climate change. It will be a challenging one, but the approach taken has to be an interdisciplinary one. You cannot have one solution, but many solutions put together.
My name is Mirna Al-Zriqat. I'm a Jordanian architect. I don't think a human interaction with the city starts only with structures and built environments. It also starts with how people interact with other services available in the cities, like roads, streets, and the pedestrian experience, and like how they interact with public transportation and open spaces, the environment. It's all linked. I do find a bit of similarities with the challenges that Singapore has already addressed through urban planning and policy making with Jordan, because Jordan actually is also a country with very limited resources. And I feel like this should inspire other countries like Jordan to address the same issues. Being in a classroom with like 50% of the students are international students from around the world, I feel like the conversations are very rich. The type of perspectives we get access to is really interesting, which also allows us to have a wider vision of the whole issues.
Cities and metropolitan regions, they are multidimensional entities with many system interdependencies. We have a strong urban theory class that then teaches students to critically think about issues that we already see in cities and what that means in the future. How will these sort of issues and trajectories evolve? We want to equip students with the quantitative skills to be able to handle big data sets, so urban analytics. But we don't forget this other part, which is extremely core to social research. It's looking at the qualitative ways of understanding society, understanding our future.
For the past 8 years, I was a researcher in the social service sector in Singapore. So that was where I was primarily conducting research on quality of life issues pertaining to the vulnerable populations in Singapore. Hence, my interest has always been about social inclusion. I'm also curious to look at how we can use more public-private partnerships to promote for our society to be more caring and inclusive as well. Worldwide, actually, more people are moving into cities, and cities are also growing bigger. I think there is a realization that cities are no longer spaces where people just come here and look for jobs, but people are really coming to settle down in cities. So I think there is a need for the city to grow in a way to be more sustainable and also to be able to cater to a wide range of different human needs. When we look at other countries where the reach of government may not be as comprehensive, it's also interesting to see from the bottom up how the citizens themselves might gather together to promote kind of self-help culture and a kind of mutuality among themselves. Those are some of the interesting lessons that I'm drawing from my classmates.
My background is in environmental biology, and prior to this master's program, I was an ecological researcher. So the more research I conducted in Singapore, the more I started to see that there is a very important interdisciplinary link between the environmental and urban sciences, and I required that urban perspective. Urban theory sets a good foundation for how planners shape cities. It also provides insightful views on the socio-political driving forces and processes involved in planning cities. So this is useful for me as an environmentalist because typically I would delve into a research topic and explore that in isolation. However, if you contextualize it, you realize that they are deeply intertwined with urban issues, and that demands an understanding for what the urban issues and evolving factors are.
LKYCIC brings an engaged curriculum which attempts to bridge research and practice. We do so through a team of multinational, multidisciplinary researchers who have extensive research experience in the region, where they work on contemporary urban issues and their solutioning.
Planning is gazing into the future, but extremely rooted in what are some of the constraints of the present as well as the past. This program wants to give students that rich appreciation and knowledge that a city and metropolitan region is not one that is simply spatially thought about and spatially situated, but there is also that temporal dimension. We hope to equip them to plan and make good policies that can lead to the thriving of human relations in the future.